Why is it that you run with all your might, sweat through your clothes, and go to bed haunted by stress, yet you remain stuck at the very beginning of the path? Meanwhile, others who seem to put in half the effort possess everything you've ever dreamed of. Is it luck, or is it something more calculated? Undeniably, there is a secret in this universe that the elites and the wealthy know, a secret they have ruthlessly hidden from you. In this book, we pull back the curtain on a forbidden shortcut, a truth that will fundamentally alter the level of your existence. This book is not for those looking for more hard work or traditional hustle. It is for those who are ready to perform a factory reset on their minds and bring the world to its knees. Do you have the courage to burn your old beliefs and become the sovereign ruler of your own reality? Join this channel and specifically stay with this book. We are going to change your life. The game has only just begun. Book title: The Forbidden Shortcut: How to Get It Before You Even Want It. Author: Vahid Zekavati. Copyright: VMZ Production. Chapter 1: Why the harder you run, the less you achieve. This is the most shocking and perhaps painful truth you will ever encounter. Heavy physical struggle and relentless hustling are actually the greatest obstacles to becoming wealthy and achieving your deepest desires. I know this flies in the face of everything you've been taught. Since childhood, we've been fed the lie that no pain, no gain. Schools, parents, and society have programmed us to believe that to obtain a good life, one must suffer. But let's be brutally honest for a moment. If hard work was the sole requirement for wealth, why aren't construction workers and miners who perform the most grueling labor on earth the wealthiest people alive? Why does the honest clerk working 2 shifts still struggle to pay the rent? The truth is terrifying. When you pursue something with stress, pressure, and a sense of desperate need, you are broadcasting a powerful and destructive signal to the universe. The signal of "I lack" and "I am needy." The universe is far more intelligent than you give it credit. It cannot be fooled by your words or your busy schedule. It operates like a giant cosmic photocopying machine that only copies your inner state. When you kill yourself to get money or success, your dominant vibration is set to scarcity. You are screaming into the void, "I don't have this, and I'm terrified I'll never get it." And what does the universe do? According to the merciless law of vibration, it provides you with more circumstances that match not having and suffering. It is a vicious cycle, a diabolical trap. You run to reach a destination, but the very act of frantic running pushes the goal further away. It's like trying to catch your own shadow. The faster you run, the faster it flees. This state keeps your nervous system in a permanent fight or flight mode. Your blood is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, and in this state, your brain is biologically incapable of seeing opportunities. You become blind. There are open doors of abundance all around you, but you are so busy banging your head against the locked ones that you never notice the exits. Imagine the universe as a vast, high-end buffet. Those who stand in line with calm and dignity, holding their plates with confidence, receive the finest servings. But those who push, scream, and frantically try to grab everything usually end up spilling food on themselves and leaving hungry and dirty. Effort born of struggle is exactly that, pushing. This type of effort stems from a root of fear, the fear that it won't be enough, that you'll be left behind, that you'll fail. And fear is the most powerful magnetic repellent in the universe. It pushes away the very things you are trying to attract. You might ask, should I just sit still and do nothing? Absolutely not. We aren't talking about laziness, we are talking about changing the quality of your engine's fuel. Up until today, you've been moving on the fuel of need and fear, which is a loud, smoky, and inefficient engine. We want to switch your fuel to passion and certainty. When you realize that the source of creating reality is your inner world, not your tired muscles, the game changes entirely. Consider the writer who tries to force words out of a dry brain. The result is stiff and lifeless. Now look at the one who settles into a state of flow, sips their tea, and allows the words to pour through them. They create a masterpiece. The difference is effortless action. Quantum physics has proven that material reality isn't as solid as we think. Subatomic particles, the stuff you, your money, and your dream car are made of, actually are packets of energy that react to the observer. When the observer, you, looks with urgency and pressure, the particles scatter in a chaotic, harsh reality. But when the observer looks with a sense of possession and peace, the particles arrange themselves into beautiful, organized patterns. This means you soften reality with your peace. The first step to utilizing this forbidden shortcut is to stop. Yes, stand still. Stop the meaningless running. Take a deep breath. Admit that the old way hasn't worked. If hustling was going to get you there, you would have arrived by now. This admission is painful but liberating. You must resign as the general manager of the universe's worries. You are not responsible for the how. You are only responsible for the what and the why. When you drop the heavy burden of how, you suddenly feel light. This is the moment resistance vanishes. In the absence of resistance, the natural flow of prosperity rushes in, like a river when a dam is removed. You still take action, but you do it because you enjoy it, not to get something. This subtle shift is the border between a life of toil and a life of magic. You are entering a kingdom where a single intentional thought outweighs 1,000 hours of labor. Are you ready to stop being a slave of effort and start being a master of manifestation? Chapter 2. The Hidden Frequency. What is the secret language of the universe? Have you ever considered that you are shouting orders to the universe every second of the day, even while you are fast asleep? This might sound like a scene from a science fiction movie, but in the realm of quantum reality, it is your absolute truth. You may think you are sitting in silence, but at the energetic level, you are functioning like a massive, high-powered broadcasting tower, firing intense electromagnetic waves in every direction. The tragedy of the modern human condition is that most people have no idea where their control room is located, and even worse, their frequency dial has been rusted shut, locked onto the channels of misery, struggle, and defeat. Let us dissect this mechanism. The universe does not communicate in human languages. It doesn't speak Persian, English, German, or Arabic. The cosmos is deaf to the words, "I want more money," or "I need a better job." The universe understands only one language, the language of vibration, also known as frequency. And where does this frequency originate? It is born from the powerful combination of the electrical thoughts in your brain and the magnetic emotions in your heart. When you hold a thought, for example, "I'm afraid I'll fall behind on my bills," and you marry that thought to a deep, visceral feeling of fear in your chest, you create what scientists call an electromagnetic signature. This signature acts as a military-grade command broadcast to the soldiers of the cosmos. The message received is danger, lack, anxiety. And how does the universe respond? It simply says, "Your wish is my command," and immediately begins rearranging your physical world to provide you with more reasons to be afraid and more circumstances of lack. Think about the days when you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. From that first moment of annoyance, everything seemed to go wrong. You stubbed your toe, you spilled your coffee, your car wouldn't start, and your boss was in a terrible mood. Do you truly believe these were random coincidences? Not at all. These were the precise mathematical responses of the universe to the frequency you emitted the moment you opened your eyes. You were tuned into the broken day station, and your life's radio simply played the songs broadcast by that station. Now contrast that with a day when you woke up feeling inspired and loved. On those days, green lights seem to appear just for you. Strangers smile at you, and unexpected opportunities fall into your lap. This isn't luck, this is physics. Within your brain, there is a specific bundle of nerves known as the reticular activating system, RAS. This system acts as a sophisticated filter. In every single second, millions of bits of data bombard your senses. If your brain processed it all, you would literally lose your mind. Therefore, the RAS chooses what you see. And what is its criteria for selection? Your dominant beliefs and your current frequency. If your frequency is set to "people are out to get me," your RAS will scan a room of 100 people and point out the one person who might be a threat, while completely filtering out the 99 kind souls who could help you. You are not attracting these problems as much as you are observing them because your radar is locked onto them. This is why mastering your frequency is the ultimate forbidden shortcut. Most people are victims of their environment. They hear bad news and their frequency drops. They see a bill and their frequency drops. They are like a small boat without oars in a violent storm. But by reading this book, you are choosing to become the captain. Frequency regulation means you consciously choose how you feel regardless of what is happening outside your window. At first, this feels like insanity. How can I feel wealthy when my bank account is empty? How can I feel loved when I am alone? The answer lies in the power of directed imagination. Your brain cannot distinguish between a vivid, emotionally charged imagination and physical reality. When you close your eyes and imagine biting into a sour lemon, your mouth produces saliva. There is no lemon, yet the physical response is real. This means you can hack your frequency by generating the feeling of having before the object actually appears. When you learn to flood your body with the emotion of success before the success arrives, you have mastered the secret language. You are sending the signal, "I have this." The universe, momentarily confused by the mismatch between your frequency and your current surroundings, rushes to close the gap. It must change your reality to match your vibration. This is the law of correspondence. Reality is slow and dense, so there is often a time lag. Winners are those who hold their frequency steady during this lag, while losers give up and change the channel back to failure just before the miracle happens. Chapter 3: Deadly Visualization. How to murder your reality with your mind. Did you know that 90% of people who practice visualization are actually pushing their dreams further away? It sounds counterintuitive, but this tool, often cited as the key to success, acts like a sharp blade that severs your connection to your desires if used incorrectly. Most people sit down, close their eyes, and desperately wish for a car, a house, or a partner. But hidden in the background of that beautiful mental image is a destructive mental virus: longing. When you visualize something and then sigh with a sense of, "I wish I had that," your real message to the universe is, "I want this because I don't have it right now." The word "want" inherently implies lack. You do not want something you already possess. If you have shoes on your feet, you don't pray for shoes, you just walk. Therefore, every time you visualize with a sense of yearning or pleading, you are amplifying the frequency of scarcity. You are rubbing salt in the wound of not having. This type of visualization is toxic. It is like being thirsty and staring at a photograph of water while crying. It only makes your thirst and suffering more acute. The secret to correct visualization lies in changing the angle. You must not look at the future, you must look from the future. There is a massive, life-altering difference between these two perspectives. In the first scenario, you are here and the goal is over there, creating distance. In the second scenario, you are already there, looking back at the past, which is your current now, or simply enjoying the present moment of achievement. This is what we call living in the end. Let us get practical. To live in the end, you must enter the scene in your mind as if you were physically there right now. Do not watch yourself on a movie screen. That makes you a spectator. See the world through your own eyes. Feel the weight of the steering wheel in your hands. Smell the new car scent. Hear the sound of the engine. If you can involve all 5 senses in your imagination, your subconscious mind will surrender and accept the image as a current fact. The key ingredient is the feeling of naturalness. If you are screaming with over-the-top excitement in your visualization, it means you still don't believe you deserve it. Truly wealthy people don't scream when they get into their cars. They enjoy them, but it feels normal. You must reach a point in your imagination where having your desire feels like the most natural thing in the world. Once you reach this state of courseness, the seed is planted. However, there is another danger: the obsession with checking. Many people visualize in the morning and then spend the afternoon checking their bank accounts saying, "See, it didn't work." This is like planting a seed and then digging it up every hour to see if it has sprouted. In doing so, you kill the seed. Once you visualize and reach that high emotional state, you must trust the process. Constant checking is a sign of faithlessness, and doubt is the ultimate energy blocker. I have a forbidden technique for you: future memory making. Tonight, before you sleep, instead of worrying about tomorrow, construct a mental scene set 1 year into the future. Imagine sitting with a close friend, laughing and saying, "Remember last year when I was so worried? I can't believe how perfectly everything turned out." Hear their voice congratulating you. Feel the relief in your chest. When you fall asleep in this state, your subconscious mind works all night to bridge the gap between where you are and that future memory. You are not just dreaming, you are collapsing time. Chapter 4: The Law of Vacuum: Why You Must Destroy to Attract. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your prayers, visualizations, and efforts, new and wonderful things simply refuse to enter your life? The answer lies in your bulging closets, your cluttered digital galleries, and the depths of your crowded mind. You are full. You are stuffed with the old, with dead memories, and with things kept just in case they might be useful one day. The merciless yet just law of physics is this: 2 things cannot occupy the same space at the same time. As long as your fists are tightly clenched around what you currently have, even if it is garbage, your hands are not open to receive the gold that the universe is extending toward you. The law of vacuum is one of the most intimidating yet powerful laws of the cosmos. It states, "Nature abhors a vacuum and will immediately rush to fill it." This means if you want to receive something new, you must first create the space for it. However, the problem is that humans are energetic hoarders. We are terrified of letting go. We fear discarding the old. What if I need this worn-out shirt one day? What if I end up alone if I end this toxic relationship? What if I starve if I quit this soul-crushing job? These fears shout the frequency of poverty and lack of trust at the top of their lungs. Let us start with a simple example that has a devastating impact on your subconscious: the clothes you haven't worn in years but keep in your wardrobe. Every time you open that closet and see those tight or outdated clothes, your subconscious receives a message: "I don't trust the future. I don't believe I can buy new and better clothes, so I must cling to these old ones." This message chokes the flow of wealth at its root. But the moment you find the courage to throw them away or donate them, a physical vacuum is created. By this physical act, you send a metaphysical signal: I deserve the best, and I have faith that a better replacement is on the way. And watch what happens. Suddenly, the money for new clothes arrives, where someone gives you a gift. This is not magic, it is the mechanism of filling a vacuum. This law operates even more ruthlessly regarding relationships and emotions. If your heart is full of resentment towards someone who wronged you 10 years ago, you have no room for new love. Your psychological space is occupied. If your mind is preoccupied with worries about the past, there is no room for new lucrative ideas. You must destroy in order to build. Many people want to build a skyscraper on the ruins of a mud hut. It is impossible. You must demolish the hut, remove the debris, level the ground, and then build. This destruction phase is painful. You may have to cut ties with friends you've known for years but who are no longer on your frequency. You may have to kill old habits. The feeling of loss is in fact nothing more than an illusion. In the world of energy, nothing is destroyed, it is only transformed. When you consciously let go of what no longer serves you, you are releasing stagnant energy. This released energy becomes the fuel for your dreams. Try it. Today, clear out a drawer, a computer file, or a nagging thought. The feeling of lightness and coolness you feel in your chest afterwards is the sound of your soul breathing. That lightness is the empty space waiting for a miracle. The crucial point here is letting go with certainty. If you throw things away and then sit and cry about what a mistake you made, the law of vacuum will not work. You must discard with the attitude of a king who knows his treasury is full. You must say, this was for the previous level of my life. I am now at a higher level, and I require higher level things. This sacred pride activates attraction. The universe loves courage. When it sees you dare to let go of the false security of the old, it grants you a reward thousands of times more valuable. Do you have the courage right now to go to your phone's contact list and delete the numbers of those who only give you negative energy? Do you have the courage to burn the items that remind you of your failed days? These acts are scary, I know, but the forbidden shortcut passes through the center of these very fears. As long as your hands are full of pebbles, you will not grasp the diamond. Drop the pebbles. Do not fear. God's earth is vast, and God's hands are generous. The moment you let go, the airflow changes. New people enter. You receive strange job offers. Why? Because you removed the full capacity sign from your life and installed the accepting new blessings sign. Remember this, every time you feel your life is locked and nothing is moving forward, instead of trying harder to get new things, look and see what you need to throw away. The knot is not in getting, it is in not releasing. Mental and physical purging is the way to open the blockages of wealth. So today, be the demolition crew of your own life so that tomorrow you can be its visionary architect. Chapter 5. Inspired Action versus Hard Labor. We have arrived at the most challenging and deceptive part of the journey, the point where most followers of the law of attraction fail and critics begin to scoff. Should we just sit and do nothing? The answer is a resounding no. But wait, the answer is also no to grueling, backbreaking labor. So what is the solution? The solution lies in the magical concept of inspired action. This is the missing link that allows one person to become a billionaire working 2 hours a day, while another remains in poverty working 16 hours a day. Let's define the difference. Hard labor, or the hustle, is when you act before you are in frequency. You are afraid, you are worried, and you want to change the result through physical force and pressure. This is like pushing a dead car up a hill. You sweat, you strain your back, and the car only moves a few inches. But inspired action is when you first start the engine, align your frequency, put your foot on the gas, and the car climbs with the power of its own motor. You simply steer. When you perform the previous steps correctly, changing beliefs, visualization, letting go, a state is created in you called internal momentum. One morning you wake up and for no apparent reason you feel like going to a specific cafe, or suddenly an idea hits you like a lightning bolt. Write this book right now, or call so-and-so. These impulses feel different. They are born not of obligation, they are born of enthusiasm. Doing them is not hard. In fact, not doing them is hard. When you engage in that work, you lose track of time. You don't feel fatigue. This is the state of flow. Consider the writer who wants to write a book. If they are in the hard labor mode, they sit in front of a white screen, pressure themselves, force the words out, and write a text that exhausts the reader. But if this same writer first tunes their frequency, perhaps by not writing at all for a few days and just walking in nature, this isn't laziness, it's charging the battery. Suddenly, a flood of words pours out. In 3 hours, they write a chapter that the other couldn't finish in 3 weeks, and it becomes a masterpiece. Why? Because they connected to the source, and their hands were merely scribes for what was being dictated. The forbidden shortcut is this: do not take any important action until you feel good. This is the golden rule. If you do something while feeling bad, stressed, or fearful, the result will be a mess that takes twice as long to fix. Stopping when you feel bad is actually a form of progress. Go sleep, take a shower, dance, do whatever it takes to change the frequency. When the green light of emotion turns on, then attack. Many golden opportunities appear in the disguise of coincidences. When your vibration is high, you might go out to buy bread and while in line, strike up a conversation with someone who happens to be a publisher or an investor. This meeting was not the result of your physical effort. It was the result of being in the right place at the right time. And who took you there? Your frequency. Inspired action usually doesn't seem logical. Logic says, check your work emails now. But the heart says, go for a walk. If you dare to listen to the heart, you'll find that during that walk, an idea came to you worth thousands of dollars. Distinguishing inspired action from fleeting whims is simple. Inspired action is always accompanied by a sense of peace and certainty, not haste and anxiety. If a feeling tells you, hurry up or you'll miss out, that is the voice of fear. But if a calm voice says, do it, don't worry, that is the voice of intuition. So, your new strategy is this: tune the frequency, feel good, visualize the end. Be alert, pay attention to signs, sudden ideas, and invitations. Act with enthusiasm. When the idea comes, don't delay, do it with all your might. In this model, you don't work less. In fact, you might work 24/7. But because you love what you are doing, it is no longer called work. It is called play. And the winner is the one who plays the most, not the one who suffers the most. Chapter 6: The Impenetrable Shield. How to Neutralize Environmental Noise. You now know the secret, but you are at the most dangerous point of the path. Why? Because you have decided to change, but the world hasn't decided yet. The moment you begin to change your frequency, the surrounding environment will attack you like an immune system trying to return you to your previous state. Your colleagues complain about inflation, the news speaks of war and disease, And your family, with toxic kindness, tells you, don't be a dreamer, be realistic. If you cannot withstand this tsunami of negativity, your entire new mental structure will collapse in seconds. You need a frequency quarantine. This does not mean isolation or fleeing to a cave. It means creating a ruthless mental filter. Imagine your mind is a royal palace. Would you leave the palace doors wide open for anyone to walk in with muddy shoes and trash? Then why do you allow negative news, rumors, and discouraging talk to enter your brain? Every negative input is a virus that hacks your attraction program. The first step, a media diet. Turn off the television. Unfollow news channels on Telegram and Instagram that offer nothing but stress. Do not fear. If something truly important happens, the news will reach you. You don't need to know every crime committed in a distant country. How does knowing it help you or them? It only tunes your frequency to sorrow and insecurity. You are not responsible for saving the world. You are first responsible for saving your own mind. When you become strong, then you can help the world. The second step, managing energy vampires. These are the people who, after 5 minutes of conversation, leave you feeling like your soul has been sucked dry. They only talk about problems, they judge and grumble. If you can, remove them from your life. If they are close family and you cannot, manage the relationship. Shorten the conversation time. Do not argue. When they start complaining, change the subject or find an excuse to leave. You have the right to defend your energy. Remember, you cannot change someone who doesn't want to change. Trying to justify yourself only pulls your frequency down. The third step, building a safety bubble. When you are forced to be in a negative environment like the subway or a toxic workplace, put on headphones. Listen to instrumental music or educational files. Imagine an invisible shield around you where negative arrows hit and bounce off. Laugh at others' negative talk in your heart and say, "This is their story, not mine." This mental separation gives you extraordinary power. You are in the midst of fire, but you do not burn. You must also engineer your physical environment. Imagine a writer in Portland. If their room is messy and dark, their frequency will drop. But if they place their desk facing a window, buy a beautiful plant, and fill the space with soft light and music, the environment becomes a charger. Your environment must align with your goal. Surround yourself with symbols of wealth and success, photos of places you want to go, quotes that give you power. Let your eyes constantly see beauty and purpose. Learn the power of saying no. No to parties you don't like. No to fruitless political debates. No to listening to gossip. Every no you say to external noise is a big yes to your internal frequency. At first, others may call you arrogant or strange. Let them. When the brilliant results of your life appear, those same people will come and ask, "What's your secret?" Maintaining frequency in a negative environment is like holding a lit candle in a storm. It is hard, but if you can cup your hands around the flame and protect it, that candle will eventually become a sun. You are the sovereign of your mind's kingdom. Close the borders, set the guards, and let no intruder disturb your sacred peace. This is not selfishness, it is survival intelligence. FAQs. 1. Can one truly achieve wealth without hard physical labor? Yes. Wealth is the result of value creation and a frequency of worthiness. Hard physical labor without frequency alignment leads only to burnout, while inspired, intelligent action is the true shortcut. 2. How long does it take to see signs of frequency alignment in our lives? Small signs, such as synchronized numbers or unexpected calls, usually appear within 48 to 72 hours after a genuine internal shift. However, major results depend on your persistence in the state of already having. 3. Is it possible to maintain a high frequency in a deeply negative environment? Absolutely. Frequency is an internal matter. By using mental quarantine, headphones, and controlling your sensory inputs, you can create a safety bubble that no external noise can penetrate. 4. What is the main difference between wishing and aligning? Wishing comes from a place of lack and longing, which reinforces the frequency of poverty. Aligning means creating the feeling of having right now, so vividly that your mind and body cannot distinguish it from physical reality. 5. Why does the exact opposite of what we visualized sometimes happen? This occurs due to internal conflict. If you visualize, but your deep subconscious fear of failure is stronger, the universe responds to that stronger fear. You must focus on building unshakable certainty. 6. Does the law of vacuum mean we must give away all our money to receive more? No. The law of vacuum means letting go of what no longer aligns with your new version. It could be an old garment or a limiting belief. Giving must come from a sense of abundance, not sacrifice. 7. How do we distinguish between an inspired idea and a fleeting whim? An inspired idea is accompanied by peace, certainty, and burning enthusiasm, and acting on it gives you energy. A whim is usually driven by haste, stress, and the fear of missing out. 8. What is the role of prayer and spirituality in this forbidden shortcut? Prayer, when coupled with the certainty of being heard, is the most powerful frequency in the universe. This book teaches you to move from begging to receiving, aligning with divine laws. 9. Is age, for example, being over 40, a barrier to starting this path? Never. Frequency knows no time or space. Your subconscious mind does not age. Many of the world's greatest successes occurred when individuals reached the maturity to manage their inner energy. 10. Why do I still attract toxic people despite following these steps? People are mirrors of your hidden frequencies. Until your innermost layers, such as feelings of unworthiness, change, the universe will continue to send similar people to awaken you. 11. Is indifference the same as letting go? No. Indifference means you don't care about the goal. Letting go means the goal is important to you, but you are not attached to the time or how of its arrival, knowing it is already on its way. 12. How can we maintain a positive frequency during a crisis? You don't need to be happy during a crisis, you just need to remain neutral. Prevent stress from consuming you. Accepting the present moment as a stepping stone to change is the first step toward change. 14. Is specific music recommended for frequency tuning? Music at 432 Hz or 528 Hz, known as nature's frequencies and DNA repair frequencies, can significantly reduce mental resistance during visualization. 15. How do we get rid of the mental chatter that says, "It won't happen"? Don't fight it. Simply tell that voice, "Thank you for your opinion, but I choose to see things differently." Repeating powerful affirmations in the alpha state before sleep silences this chatter. 16. Does writing goals on paper actually help in manifesting them? Yes. Writing is the act of materializing thought. When you write, you move energy from the mental world to the physical world and lock your brain's RAS onto that objective. 17. How do I know if I'm struggling or putting in the right effort? If you feel drained and angry at the end of the day, you are struggling. If you feel a pleasant exhaustion and a deep satisfaction, you are engaged in inspired action. 18. Is frequency alignment with wealth in conflict with contentment? Contentment means enjoying what you have, which is excellent, but if it means believing in lack and settling for poverty, it becomes a barrier to your frequency of wealth. 19. How can we create the feeling of having for something we've never had? By using imagination and symbols. Visit places where your desire exists, test drive expensive cars, or wear your best clothes. Habituate your body to that frequency. 20. Could we accidentally attract something that isn't good for us? The universe's intelligent system is designed so you only attract what matches your internal capacity. If you work on your character, you will always attract the best. 21. What is the most important exercise to start right now? Gratitude in advance. Give thanks for the things you want as if they are already in your hands. This is the most powerful command code you can send to the universe.